Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay then. Okay then indeed. Yes, this video is of a real driving test taken in February 2024, and it's somebody on their test, and the examiner will be guiding them around. The routes that the DVSA take are all set routes, and they have a certain number of set routes to try and make everyone's test as equal as possible. Within the video, I've had to mute the conversation between the examiner and the pupil and the kind of learner, just because that's their rules. And we're turning out of the South Wigston Test Centre here and driving down towards Tigers Road, where we're going to turn left. So what we can do is we can follow the route around and we can see how she gets on, see if she passes or fails. You'll notice that the examiner's cable for his satnav is reflecting on the screen. So we're going to try and just look past that. And as we turn left from Tigers Road, the examiner is going to ask the learner, when it's safe to do so, show me how you'd wash and clean the front windscreen. So having a look at this, do you think this will have been a safe place, a safe time to do this? And has she done it correctly? What would you say? So we're following the satnav at this moment. The examiner set the satnav up, and he's taking us along here. This is Saffron Road, and satnav is asking the learner now to take the next road on the right, which is where this mini roundabout is. So we've come from Tigers Road, we've turned left onto Saffron Road, and now we're going to turn right at this first mini roundabout, and that's going to take us into Gloucester Crescent. I should mention that the learner driver here, this is her first test, and she's very, very nervous. She's been worrying about this test for a long time. She's been quite anxious, and she's hoping to do her very best. And certainly that was all right, wasn't it? She just eased off, let the lorry come through there. The satnav is asking her to turn left here, but she's kind of missed it. She's kind of misunderstood what it means, and she's just gone straight past the junction. And now he's asking her to pull in and park on the left. Now we know, don't we, that if you're following the satnav and you go the wrong way, but you do it safely, that's not a problem. You won't get a fault for that. And the caveat there is that you do it safely. You'll see the examiner there is picking up the satnav. He's resetting it now because it's going to ask her to keep going back on herself. And he'll put it back. She'll set off and he'll put it back down, and then it'll work their way back to the set route. But at this moment, we're still on Gloucester Crescent and we're following the road around. There it is. So he's reset it, and it's now going to ask her to turn left in a few moments. Knowing the learner as I do, I know that this will have kind of put her off a little bit. It won't really upset her, but it'll put her off a little bit, and it'll be playing on her mind that she's got that wrong. And in a few moments, like I say, it's gonna the satnav is going to get her to turn left. So we just get around this bend. See, she's taking it quite cautiously at this moment. She's just kind of regaining her thoughts and, getting back in the game, I think, probably now. So we're on Gloucester Crescent. I'm going to turn left into Cheshire Road. It's just along here. She's got to get past these parked cars, first of all. There's the junction coming up. You'll see the car slow down. That's it. That's excellent, isn't it? It's got a nice speed for the junction there. It's kept well into the left. See, it says 20 on the sign and the lights are flashing. So she's kept the car really slow here. So that 20 sign, that's advisory, isn't it, when it's like that? But it's good advice to take, really, when it's flashing. And good idea to keep it down to 20, which she certainly has done. There's another sign there which tells her that that zone has ended, and now she can pick the speed up to a kind of normal rate. I'm going to get to the end of this road, so remember we're on Cheshire Road. I'm going to turn right at the end, and that will take us on to Dorset Avenue. There you go, Dorset Avenue. So we're turning right at the end. This is a little bit of a hill, so let's just see if she's going to roll back slightly. No, that's good control. And she's moved out and around, and now she's on Dorset Avenue. Just following. She's not going to be on Dorset Avenue for very long, really. She's just going to follow it to the end, and then she'll be turning left. Now, if you turned left at the end of here, you'll go on to Glenbourne Road. If you turn right, you'll be back on to Gloucester Crescent. We're turning left and around here. So there you go. The video jumped a little bit there, but we're on Glenbourne Road, and we're going to follow this down. You'll see a parked car on your left. She's going to pull up just behind that parked car and do her angled start. Now on this angled start that she does, it'd be a good idea to look ahead as she's moving out and see if she's done this right, and see what you think the examiner will have marked here. Will he have how do you think he will have seen this? Will he have marked it down on his tablet? So she's just waiting for the traffic behind to clear. There's someone crossing the road in front, and there's a van on its way. So, is this van slowing down for her? And what does that mean in terms of the test? It was quite a long way back when she started to move out, but when she got out there, I think he did slow down a little bit. So do you think that would have been a minor fault or a major one? How do you think the examiner will have seen that? Anyway, we're going to come to the end of this road. This is Glenbourne Road. We'll come to the end and we're going to turn right. As you can see from the sign, we're turning right into Stonesby Avenue. It's quite a wide road at this point, but when we get to the bridge, it becomes quite narrow. As narrow as it is, though, there is room for people to get through. Even if you're a bus, you'll get through there. So she's gone through quite nicely, and she's not been too concerned about that. And we'll be taking the next road on the left. So we're on Stonesby Avenue, and we're going to turn left here. Again, you'll see the car slow right down for the turn. There it is, and she's going to turn in. And this is going to bring us into Shackerdale Road and along here. Now the thing about Shackerdale Road, it's got lots of speed bumps. I don't think she slowed down for that one. She can say it was quite blended in to the road, quite disguised, but she was a bit quick there. She's just being asked to pull in the park on the left now, just so the examiner can see how she pulls away, and hopefully she'll pull away quite nicely. Looking down the road there, we can see, although there's traffic coming and there's a car parked, there is easily room to get through. Shackerdale Road is quite wide, actually. There are some more speed bumps along here, and I am hoping that she's slowed down and looked after my car as she's gone over those. Let's just see if she does that. The answer to that then is no, she's not. So I think we'll probably have to have a little word about that on our next lesson, which is coming up on Friday. As we follow this road, that'll tell you then if she's got a next lesson also that she didn't pass. So I think we've seen one fault. Let's see, there are more, and let's see if we can see where they are. Bearing in mind she's very, very nervous. She's never been in this kind of situation before, where she's got somebody new just watching her drive, and I think that the pressure of the day has got to her a little bit. But she's gone around this bend really, really nicely, kept well into the left, and we can see, can't we, that there's a bit of a traffic queue coming up to the next set of lights. And at these lights, she's going to be asked to turn right. And these ones coming turning right from Shackerdale Road onto Asquith Way, we know it's all about keeping a good position on the road and also looking for a space, a safe space, where you can complete the turn. So let's have a look at her position there. She's moved out to the right. Oh, the lights went to amber. How do you think the examiner will have seen that then? The lights went to amber. She's looking for a space though now. And there it is, and she's going to go round. So do you think she had enough time to stop there when the lights changed? Personally, I think she was more or less on the line. So she probably did the right thing in going through. She wouldn't want to make an emergency stop at that point. Just leave your comments and your opinions. I really value those in the comment box. As we come along Asquith Way, we can see where the traffic lights are. I'm going to be turning left at these traffic lights then. Is she going to move into the lane eventually? Yeah, there she goes. Good, she's in the lane. Now these lights are on red and there's a stop line there, isn't there? But if you look ahead as well, you'll see there's a give way line. So it's important as you move up to that give way line that you just slow the car right down, give yourself time to look over your shoulder almost along Welford Road to make sure that nobody snuck through on that junction, which is why that give way line is there. It might be someone turning right from the opposite side that sneaks through actually. But we'll see these lights go to green in a few seconds and she'll move up to the give way line. Will she pause slightly or slow down slightly as she goes over the lines? We're hoping, I've got fingers crossed on both hands that she does that now. Let's see. Here's the lights going to amber then green. And she's going to move forward. I don't know. There was a little hint of a slowdown there. So let's hope that she did look over her shoulder. Again, the video skipped a bit, but we're still on Welford Road. Now this bus lane is in operation. It's not yet 9:30 in the morning. So it's in operation. Should she be in here? Should she be in this bus lane? And if she shouldn't, what do you think the examiner, how will he have marked that? It's definitely a fault to be there. Is it a serious fault or is it a minor fault? We're going straight ahead at these lights though, so we're staying on Welford Road. If we're following the route around, it's nice to know these routes, isn't it? Because every now and again they crop up with something that's a bit, unusual, a bit kind of, you think to yourself, oh, I didn't know they went out that far. And this is going to be one as well. We've gone out quite a long way away now from Tigers Road. As she's moving forward, again, on this section of Welford Road, there's the bus lane continues really. The taxi in front of us, he's gone straight into it, and that's fine, isn't it? Because he's allowed in there. But we're not a taxi, we're a car, and we're not allowed. And the examiner's going to ask her to change one lane over to the right to get her out of the bus lane. And there they go. So does that mean that the examiners took action there? Verbally, and again, that's a fault, isn't it? How will he have marked that down, do you think? Do you think that's enough to fail, or is it a minor fault? I'm going to come to the traffic lights. If you turn left at these lights, that will be Knight and Lane East, just to give you some kind of context of where we are. If we turn left, it'd be Knight and Lane East. We're going to turn right, and that's Chapel Lane. So there we go. So we're just going to go through the lights here. The lights are on green. She's going to find a nice place. Is she going to stay in the correct lane? No, she's gone over. See, she's gone over the line. She's gone a bit wide, and now she's gone in. She has found the correct space. She's gone in behind the oncoming car, though. And we're on Chapel Lane. Chapel Lane is the one that bends around quite a lot. It's quite bendy and twisty, but it takes you past the Craddock Arms. There is a red traffic light coming up for these roadworks, and what she'll need to do is hold back a little bit so she gives herself a nice little escape route, make it a little easier for her to get out. And actually she's left some room at the front there, so that's good. She's not going to make life too difficult for herself when these lights do change back to amber and then green. And we know that these traffic lights, these temporary lights, can be on red for a long time, can't they? And actually we're in February. You can see there's no, there's the lights changing. She can go around. We're in February, so there's lots of roadworks around, isn't there, at this time of year. So we're coming down a fairly steep gradient into a bend, and hopefully now she'll be braking, she'll be controlling the car, she'll be easing off the brake as she begins to steer. And I think that's exactly what she does, because she's very, very good at that aspect of controlling the car. With now the Chapel Lane has moved into Knighton Road, and this is just as bendy, isn't it? And we're just going to follow this road around as it twists one way and then the other. Going round the bend, we can see the lights are still on green, and she's going to go through there, and that's fine. Keep a good position, don't cross over the lines, keep nice and wide of the parked cars, and yeah, she's got a nice position there, and she's just following the road ahead. There's lots of good things about this test. It's not all bad. Obviously she's not passed, but you know, there's lots of good driving, as nervous and as anxious as she is. Again, the road's going to bend round to the right. We're going to stick well into the left so that we don't cross, we don't cut the bend off basically. And look, there, is she going to slow down and let the guy get off the road? Yep, that's good. And then she's going to go through. So she held back there. She timed her approach to that little situation and made the space really for herself. And now there's a van pulling out in front of her. It's a little bit like a hazard perception video just at this moment. But here she's hung well back, let the van disappear or move on, and use the space that he leaves. So again, in that aspect of this test, very, very good. And she's kept a nice space, you'll notice, in front of the car all of the time, which has given her a good view down the road and lots of kind of, you know, reaction time to anything that happens ahead of her. So that's the best thing I think about this video. And she's been quite this test that she's done, and she's been quite positive. Now she's being asked to pull in and park. Oh, she's very close to that junction. Do you think she's too close to the junction on the left? The examiner's picking his satnav up, packing it away. And this is a bit of a slope as well. So she's very close to the junction, and she's about to pull away. If she rolls back here, that will be a disaster, to be fair. Oh, there you go. She's rolled back a bit, and now she's found the bite and she's moved forward. So it is a gradient. So again, what do you think the examiner's marked down there? It's definitely a fault. Is it a fault bad enough to be a serious or a dangerous, or is it a minor fault there, just for a little rollback? When we get to the traffic lights here, we're on Knighton Lane. We're going to be turning right onto London Road. Now again, knowing the learner as I do, that rollback will be playing on her mind now. And this is still a bit of a gradient. She stopped quite sharply there. She'll be getting herself ready for the lights to go to amber and then green. And hopefully there'll be no hint of a rollback now. And she will actually kind of gather her wits about her and make sure that that doesn't happen. Let's just see. So we're waiting for the lights. These lights famously take a long time to go to amber and then green. It looks like they might change any second though. And let's just see. We're looking at the front of the car. Is it going to roll back? I don't know why these lights haven't changed. Everything else has stopped. They're quite frustrating, these ones. It's almost like they've got their own little personality. Oh, here we go. No, that was fine. She caught the clutch nicely there. And now she's going to ease herself up, and she's looking for a space in behind. And there you go, there it is. and she's done that very, very, very well. So she's regained her composure as we move into London Road. Yet again, another van pulling out in front. But she's regained her composure. That's fantastic. And she's going to complete the test now, and she's going to do it in the best way she can. Again, just for context, we're on London Road and we're going away from the city centre toward Oadby. In that direction, van's going to pull off. That's fine, that leaves us a space, and there's yet another car to pull out in front of us. That's okay, it's a long way down the road, and if she eases off her gas a little bit, that will give him time to get up through his gears and get moving, and that way she can maintain the space in front of the car, which she has done. So that's again brilliant. So again, she's thinking about what she's doing, she's looking ahead, she's spotting the hazards, and she's dealing with them in a kind of sensible way. Did you notice the police camera van there on the side, tucked into the corner of the bend? Very crafty. Yeah, it's not about making money, it's all about safety. It is. No, it is. Yeah. Anyway, we're still coming down London Road, or along London Road. We're going towards Oadby, and we're coming to what I would call the racecourse roundabout. Some would say the A6 roundabout, but it's both are the same, aren't they? Racecourse roundabout. We'll be turning right. Now she's in the left lane, and she's going to need to change into the right-hand lane. There she goes. She's gone over. That seemed okay. And we need to be in the extreme right-hand lane. And this is a spiral roundabout, isn't it? So it's all about getting into your lane and staying in it and letting the lane take you around and off of the roundabout. So as we come in here, you can see that she's got a nice position. The hatch lines have moved her out. She's moved out with them, but she's lost her position now. And now she's having to change lanes really to get back over to the left to get back in the correct position. Now that's okay if you do that safely. But given the kind of speed and the lateness of that, do you think she did it safely? Do you think she was safe to change lanes as she did on that racecourse roundabout? And if not, what do you think the examiner will have said? Anyway, we were on London Road and we turned right at the racecourse roundabout, or A6 roundabout, and we're now on Palmerston Way, and we're heading back then towards Welford Road and Wigston. This Palmerston Way is quite a quick road, isn't it? It's quite a fast road, and she's got a little bit of speed up there, which is fantastic. So she's keeping up to the speed of the road. She's not being a kind of slow coach along here. We're going to be turning left into the car park at Knighton Park, though, just as we come down here. So it's just, I think it's just near where these traffic lights are. I may be wrong. I think this is it, yes. Here we are. So we're going to turn left into the car park at Knighton Park. Knighton Park's quite nice, actually. You should go there if you've got an afternoon free. We'll walk around there. It's a really nice park. And we're just going to go through and over the speed ramp here. Now she's in the car park, and this is where she's going to do her reversing manoeuvre exercise. And the examiner is going to ask her to drive forward into a bay. So she gets to choose which bay as well. So let's see which one she does. She's kind of moving over to give her a bit more of a kind of arc to get in. I always advise people to park to go forward or reverse into the ones on the right. And it always surprises me when people go into the ones on the left, because it's just a bit more difficult. But that's what she's decided to do, and that's fair enough. If she gets in the bay, then we won't complain too much about that. It does look like she's going into the bay quite nicely. She may have overlapped a little bit with her front wheel on the passenger side, but you'll see the car just ease forward, that's it. And now the examiner is the important bit for the examiner, is how she reverses out. And there's two key words when you're reversing out of a parking bay like this. It's control and observation. So you must keep the car under control, really slow, smooth movement as you come out. Your observations as you're going backwards must be over your shoulders. And if there's anything moving towards you, then you must stop dead and let them go by. So she started to steer, and she's going, to me, it looks like she's going a little bit wide. She perhaps needs to steer a bit more, and she's going to overlap into the bays on the opposite side. Now, there's no cars parked there, as we could see when we started to move in, but she has gone right inside that bay there. So again, do you think this will have been marked down as a fault, or because there's no cars parked there and it's clear that that's the case, as the examiner kind of overlooked that and thought, well, okay, fair enough, there's no cars parked there, we don't need to worry too much. How do you think that will have been seen? Anyway, we're coming out of the car park now, back down to Palmerston Way. There's a van there waiting to turn right, and that's not an easy right turn, that one. Palmerston Way is quite a busy road, and he's going to need to wait for a space. If you look to the right of your screen, you can just see there's a traffic light, there's a crossing there, and that light's going to go on to red, and that's going to create a space for the white van, and it should also create a space for us to move forward and out. So just as we're looking forward here, there you go, you see the light's gone to amber and now red, and now the van should start to move out. There he goes. So are we going to take advantage of that red light and the space that it's created? Absolutely we are. That's brilliant. Well done. There you go. So we're out. We're back onto Palmerston Way. So again, she's read that situation there really, really well. And she's on her way again, and along we go. Getting stuck on my words. That's very like me. I was going to say that's very unlike me, but that wouldn't be true. It's very like me to get stuck on my words. Anyway, there we go. We're carrying on along Palmerston Way, and we know that it's quite a long road, and it takes you all the way from kind of Oadby Way back down to Welford Road and on towards Wigston area. And we can see in the distance there that the traffic lights, that's a Welford Road crossroads. And is there someone crossing the road? Yeah, so she's just going to ease off a little bit, hopefully. Yep, she's let them cross. And as we approach the queue, we're looking at the lights now. I'm going to see if they're going to change for us. They have done. So she's going to go quite slow. And she's going to get to that point where she didn't have to actually stop, but she can just flow through with the traffic. And that's nice timing, isn't it? That's nice reading of what the lights are doing and nice timing. So Palmerston has turned into Asquith Way now, and so we're back closer to the test centre, aren't we? As we come along Asquith Way, again there's some more traffic lights. This time they're on green, and let's see if they're going to stay green for us as we carry on. Well, we're not be turning left or right at this point, we're just following the road ahead. Lights have turned to red. We should see her slow right down. We'll get to the third line back. Just about now she'll go clutch down, first gear, and she'll roll gently up to the line and stop, not with a shudder. I said not with a shudder. Okay. She did stop a little sharply there, didn't she? But she didn't go over the line, and that's the main thing. So because she's in first now already, she's already ready to go, if that makes any sense. And she'll just wait for the lights to go back to amber and then green, and then she'll move on again. She'll have popped her handbrake on, and that way she can come off the foot brake, can't she? She can set some gas, with it being a petrol car, to get moving again. So let's see, we're going to get moving. Yeah, there we go. Off we go. And she's moving along. That was quite nice. She's staying in the left lane. These two lanes merge at this point, so she'll be looking in her right door mirror just to make sure that there's nobody going to cut in around her at that point. And she's keeping up with the road. At this point on Asquith Way, it's a 30 zone, isn't it? 30. And she's keeping again a nice space in front of the car. And again, that's always handy. That's always a bonus, isn't it? gives you lots of view of what's happening ahead, and also you've got lots of kind of response time to anything that's going to potentially pull out or stop, or people cross in random places, and there's someone waiting to cross in a random place. I couldn't have put them there better, could I? We're going to go straight ahead at this roundabout now. Now she should be in the left lane to go straight ahead here, but she's moved into the right hand lane, and so she's timing her approach. In we go. She's still in the right hand lane, and now she's going to come off on the left. So, and you can see how wide she is there as well. So really, how do you think again the examiner's seen that? I think he probably would have failed her right there for that one, because clearly she didn't have time to look in the mirrors and change lanes or do that safely. So that's, for me, that's a major fault. So there's been one or two, hasn't there? Let's not be too, let's not condemn her too much. She's doing her best, and she's very, very nervous. And at this point, speaking to her after, she knew that she had failed, and she just wanted to get it over and done with at this point. So she knows she's on her way back. She knows this area fairly well, and she knows she's on her way back, and she just wants to get it over with now at this point. So maybe that mistake was part of that. It's playing on her mind. She knows that she's failed, and she's going to take the second left on this roundabout. This is the Pork Pie Island. We do have a video specifically about the Pork Pie Island, and I'll leave the link for that in the description, and you can have a look at that. Get lots of good feedback about that one, and it's quite a popular video to watch. She'll be taking the second exit. The first exit is Stonesby Avenue. Second exit is Saffron Lane, which is taken towards. What happened there is she left it in third, and she's stalled, and now she's put it into first. We've rolled back, and now she's got it going again. But that's going to take her into Saffron Lane. So they're kind of mounting up a little bit, but again, at this point she's kind of, I'm going to say she's kind of given up. She knows that she's failed, and she just wants to get it done. But she left it in third. That's a gear fault, isn't it? She did roll back a bit, perhaps surprised the people behind her that she didn't move straight off. So what do you think the examiner will have seen there? We're going to follow this road ahead, this Saffron Lane. It's going to take us all the way along to Tigers Road. We'll see if there's any more errors. She's coming up to this little situation quite nicely. She's slowed right down. She'll be looking to her right to see if anything is going to cut across her. No, the answer to that is no. And so she can move forward. And again, she's gone quite slow. She's allowing the traffic in front of her to move on. And she's kept a nice space in front of the car. So our kind of, go-to systems are working really. She's just made one or two mistakes. And straight ahead. On your left, as we come through here, is the Ayleston. It used to be Ayleston Park football ground. I don't know if it's still that now. I know that the Leicester ladies used to train there, but I think they train at Beaver Drive now. But anyway, we're going to carry on along here. There's a roundabout coming up, mini roundabout. On your left is Sturdy Road, but we're not going down there. We're going straight ahead. And at the roundabout at Dorset Avenue, and we're going to carry on along this road back towards Tigers Road. This is still all Saffron Lane, by the way. We knew it as Saffron Road when I was growing up round here as a kid, but apparently it's still Saffron Lane. It doesn't change into Saffron Road until we get past the next roundabout, which I know is boring for everyone else to know, but for me that's fascinating. I always knew that this was Saffron Road, this section, and I was wrong my whole life. There you go. Anyway, here we are. We're coming up to the end of this, traffic queue, and the cars are all going to slow down, aren't they, for the roundabout? And she's kept a nice space again in front of the car. and we're going to go straight ahead the roundabout. Doesn't seem to be anybody else ahead of us turning right, so we should be good to go. She's just held back slightly just to make sure. Very good. And now we are on actual Saffron Road. And as we come down here, we're going to be turning off to the right soon, aren't we? And that's going to take us into Tigers Road. So I think we know, don't we, the result of this test. We're not going to condemn her out of hand because there was lots of positives in there. But she has made a few mistakes, and she's normally very, very good at most of those things. So the nerves and the tension and the stress, the anxiety of being on test, I think, has overtaken her on this occasion. But she'll know now what the test is all about. When we come down here next time, she'll have a much better chance of getting through. I'm sure of that. She's actually a very good driver. We're going to be turning right into the car park through these kind of blue gates, if you like, through this blue gap. And then we're going to turn right again to take us into the car park. So hopefully you will have found that useful, and if so, you can let me know, and let me know if you want to see any other types of video as well. And so there you go. As we're coming round here, the car will stop and the examiner will be giving her the results. But I shall see you in the next video, and again, I hope that's been useful for you. Cheers now.